I understand Twitter this morning has already awarded us best coverage of the Matt Gaetz scandal. They would like to nominate. I don't want to say best, but I'm going to say least mature, which is our specialty.
Well,
most immature.
They gave us a radio Emmy.
A radio Emmy?
I'm not sure exists. Yeah, I'm not sure that exists.
Sean is doing the champions. We are the champions of the world. Okay. Yeah. And I'm of course more mass shootings now, and I had to wear my March for Our Lives T-shirt again, and we have the biggest infrastructure package. He's going to be FDR. I can't even get my mind around how well Biden is doing. More great vaccine news. However, we must focus on we must maintain our Emmy, Chris, and maintain our very immature focus on Matt Gaetz, because it cannot happen to a douchier person.
And we're gonna drag law professors like Barbara McQuaid into it today too.
Yes, I will drag Barbara McQuaid into my immaturity today, because I cannot get enough of when it happens to Trump toadies. Is it possible for it to get weirder every day, Chris? It is just okay. Well, and when he goes to prison, yes, it will be an empty nester. Poor nester. Yeah. Oh. That's not the point.
How do we know that Nestor will be empty? How do we know it's not?
Hey, mister. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. Now you're dragging down our Emmy-winning coverage of Matt Gaetz scandal. Gaetz.
Radio Emmy. Radio Emmy.
Is there such a thing?
No, there's not such a thing. No.
So okay. And by the way, Jim Jordan says everything's fine and he didn't see anything. So I guess we could just move on now, couldn't we? I guess.
Oh, sure.
I mean, if something bad happened,
Jim Green said the same thing.
If something bad happened, Jim Jordan would definitely tell you, right? I mean,
of course.
I mean, he would wrestle with it for a minute. He would wrestle with his conscience, but I'm sure in the end he would do the right thing, wouldn't he?
He doesn't cover anything
up. He'd get the truth in a half Nelson, and he would, wouldn't he? He would.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that was snark. Thank you, Sean. I could tell from Sean's muttly snicker that he appreciated it.
I'm a big fan of the show.
Oh, really? I'm not. I'm a fan of you. I'm not a fan of me. I liked the show last week with 99% less.
Stephanie Miller.
Yes. However, let's move on.
Stephanie Miller, why won't you let your guests talk?
Yes. I represent the segment of people that would like me to shut up all the time and just listen.
Yes.
We should change the name of the show to Contact. I'm just like, shh.
I'm listening.
Daddy,
really? Because we tune in to hear you. No. Shh.
I'm listening. That's all I'm doing.
Okay, just in the Jodie Foster voice for the entire time.
Well, doesn't she call for her dad on the beach or something? Like she sees her dad or something?
She sees her dad. He's dead. It's a whole thing. Don't go. Great. Spoiler alert. Jodie Foster's dad is dead in Contact. Good job, Chris. There goes our Emmy again.
Oh, my God. Oh, God.
Daddy.
Oh, please. Who hasn't seen Contact?
Daddy. There's my dad. Ready to go.
That's the only line she has, by the way, is shh, I'm listening. And also,
ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go.
Sean's back.
And isn't it on some super color saturated beach somewhere? Isn't that like heaven or space?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, let's focus on the Matt Gaetz scandal, shall we?
Okay. Yes.
because yes, all this usual. They just will defend anything. Yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene and then Kevin McCarthy. Mm-hmm. So there's no reason to take him off the Judiciary Committee, which oversees the FBI, which is investigating him. I see. So he should still be right. And he said, first he said, if he's convicted, I'll take him off the. Okay, which would mean he would still be in charge of the FBI, which is investigating. Right. But then he walked that back as like, no, if he's indicted. Which, by the way, Chris, TikTok, I feel like that might be any second now. The guy, the guy he named who was in the Justice Department 1,000 years ago and wouldn't be in any position to extort him was like, well, all this tells me is he's about to be indicted for child sex trafficking. Right. So the extortion thing, as I understand it, we'll get into this with Barb, It appears to be two separate things, which is weird and confusing in the first place. He is under investigation by the FBI for child sex trafficking. There is this other thing where they're trying to get this American back from Iran that they think is dead, but they asked his father for money. But basically, it's like that. What are they calling that? A pay for play? Like it would be a. It sounds to me like, oh, you're guilty of the child sex trafficking, but if your dad gives a lot of money to get this American home, then
we'll get you off.
We'll make it go away. Your child sex trap, but it's like it's an already existing. Right. He makes it seem like someone came to him and said, "We're going to make up some totally weird thing if you do this," and it's okay. So it's not.
It kind of sounds like his dad was involved in some kind of arms for hostages thing.
Right, like his dad has some other hinky thing he's involved in, separate from the hinky thing that is Douchey's son is doing. Right.
Yeah, but somehow Matt is involved with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Michael Stern said the same thing on Twitter. Regarding reading the details, it seems more like a pay for play scheme than a blackmail scheme.
Mm-hmm.
More, give us money and we'll convince the DOJ to stop its investigation, rather than give us money or we'll tell the DOJ about a crime it doesn't know about. So right. Kyle Griffin said Bill Barr received multiple briefings on the Gaetz probe beginning in the summer of 2020. At one point, Barr was scheduled for a meet and greet with House Judiciary Republicans, but DOJ canceled his appearance when they saw that Gaetz had RSVP'd. So this whole thing just this stinks to high heaven and blows the whole witch hunt thing out of the right. This was Trump's DOJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, if they thought that something hinky was going on.
Right. Yeah, Jackie Schechner. How much do we miss our little Jackie Schechner? She tweeted, "I find this story so fascinating. Using blackmail to keep allies in line. I'm looking at you, Lindsey Graham. Seems par for the course in Trump land. None of the former president's loyalists are decent humans, so there's clearly plenty of dirt to work with." I mean, that's what I said yesterday too. Because he only used his DOJ to help his friends and punish his enemies. So you're right. That's got to be the other thing he does. Is we have this on you because he was. Of all the disgusting sycophants, probably one of the worst, Matt Gaetz, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Right, and Brian Tyler Cohen, same thing. Twitter's my, because I'm like, is it? And then I go to Twitter, I'm like, oh, yes. Okay, I'm not the only one that thinks that. Brian Tyler Cohen said, if Matt Gaetz was the subject of an extortion attempt, that wouldn't absolve him of the alleged child trafficking. It just means that separately, someone extorted him to help cover up his crime of trafficking a child. Mm-hmm. Thank you. That's exactly what it sounds like, right?
Right.
So my point is magically full circle to it looks like Matt Gaetz is about to be indicted for sex trafficking, which is very sad.
So sad. So sad.
Somber. Are we?
So somber.
We definitely do not have the most somber coverage of the Matt Gaetz scandal. And for that, we
So somber.
Do not apologize at all.
No, we do not. No, this is Radio Emmy Award-winning stuff.
A lot of women were like me, Chris. The minute he said 17-year-old woman, we were like, what? Oh, wait, sorry, that was the one. We were like, no, not a woman, child, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a subtle thing, I suppose, on his part. This 17-year-old. Okay, we're not parents. Parents listening out there, if your 17-year-old daughter, I mean, seriously, would this be okay? Would you consider her a woman and it's fine for her to fly to another state and have sex with a congressman that's in his 30s? No. 999. No.
Computer says 9.
My parents would have been like, what the? No, you are not. Go back to your room. What do you mean you're going to? No, you're not. I can't, this whole thing.
To you, they'd be like, go back and listen to your Leif Garrett records.
Right. Don't you have a rehearsal for the Bay City Rollers, which you look like you're in? I did. I looked exactly like
S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y?
No, I apologize. I should be more specific. I look like a cross between Meryl Osmond and a Bay City Roller.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Meryl wasn't the pretty one.
Pardon? No, he was not. But he had the biggest perm, like me.
Okay.
Well, all right.
Well, I saw that Gerald Ford photo of you.
Ooh.
And
awkward.
your perm, that was, wow.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And that apparently was the best I could do because I was about to meet the president. So that was like the presidential perm. Like that was the
you were dolled up.
That was the one where my mom did not rip out all the hair in my forehead with that roller, because this was important.
And that was the old nose.
That got in the local paper. It was a couple noses ago. What? I don't know what I'm saying. I'm in grief. Oh, Anita in San Antonio did not get in yesterday. Let's get her in. Hello, Anita.
Okay.
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
Yeah, Kevin McCarthy demanded Eric Swalwell be taken off the Intelligence Committee.
Right. Who did everything right? How many times can we say that?
Right.
Right, Chris?
Right?
The FBI came to him. He immediately cooperated. Obviously, he didn't know it was a Chinese spy. Anyway, go ahead.
I know, but there's just such a double standard, and we don't even have to do anything for them to, go after a Democrat. It's just, it's just frustrating. I can't believe that he actually can say that with a straight face, that he's going to allow this guy to stay on after even if he's indicted for child trafficking. But Eric Swalwell, he has to go.
Right. No, of course. There's always a double standard, and it's time we stop playing by their rules. Andrew Weinstein said a member of Congress being investigated by the Department of Justice should not sit on a committee that oversees the Department of Justice. This is not hard, right?
No, I know. Well, I guess he's going to wait till he's convicted. I mean, that's the way they look at it now. Republicans can be indicted for pretty much anything, and, nothing happens to them.
Right.
But,
Right. Yeah, I mean, anyway. Thank you, Anita.
Well, you're welcome.
What?
Okay. That's how kids pronounce when they kiss. Moi. All right. My friend's nephew. Moi. Okay. I'm just saying.
Okay. All right. Some kids.
Mommy doesn't sleep enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
did you slept in today? You like
because you didn't get the 2 a.m. tweets?
Yeah, you slept in. No, we didn't see you on this Zoom call until about 1 minute before showtime.
4 seconds ago? Yes. I have a little ridges on
we were getting worried.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did groom my fake eyelashes because I'd slept too hard on one side and it looked like a spider was attacking my right eye. Is it okay now? What do you think?
I think so.
Thank you.
Aren't you supposed to remove your makeup before you go to bed?
No, they're eyelash extensions. They stay on all the time, so I can always.
Okay.
I grew up on Lifetime movies. I need to wake up even if there's no one there. I still wake up like, oh, good morning.
Yes.
Hi. And it's just Jamie. But she appreciates it. She's like, oh, your eyelashes look good. I look like Clarice in, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
That was always my life goal, to look like Meryl Osmond, but have Clarice eyelashes. Okay. More importantly,
nobody should have a goal to look like Meryl Osmond.
Well, it wasn't a goal. It just I loved Donnie best, like every girl my age, but it wasn't deliberate. I just ended up looking like Meryl Osmond and an Armenian dude somehow, a mix. But anyway, explains a lot about how I ended up, here. Okay, can I just say real quick, the BFD. Robert tweets, Joe Biden is 100% the president we needed for this moment. He's moving towards a New Deal-sized agenda with both the American Rescue Plan and his infrastructure package. It is incredible. It really is. When you've got everyone from AOC to everybody across the spectrum thrilled with this, right? And the weird thing is polling is showing Americans would even be for a bigger one. They'd be for a $3 trillion, right? But this is exactly what we need. Our infrastructure is a mess. It's jobs. It's just such a no-brainer, and and to have the corporations that take advantage of our bridges and roads and highways pay their fair share finally, like the rest of us, anyway.
And besides President Biden going out and selling this, you know who else is going out and selling this because this is his department? Pete Buttigieg. Yeah. And he is so good. He was on CNN this morning explaining it, and it was so succinct and you're right. Go Pete.
Just one tweet was he just said, now it's infrastructure week. Come on, it's funny. It's funny little snark. Funny little snark.
But all he's such a good campaigner for stuff like this. I'm so proud to have him in there.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Carl Frisch, Dana Goldberg, attorney Barb McQuaid. We've got a big show. It's a Thursday show, 20 minutes after the hour.
Yeah, it is.
Good morning, dear. Cut!
We have a lot to celebrate this week.
You have the right to remain tripping your balls off.
It's like Illuminati, but with leather.
First day at Fight Club, you must fight!
2020 refuses to concede.
I was going to have to return 2021 because I didn't like the 7-day trial. But I'm in now. We're in, sexy liberals.